Sky Cable TV Kenya. Beyond the Real.
Are you looking forward to have an amazing spa day? Sonny Dance Barber Salon and Spa offers haircut services, pedicure, manicure services, facials, nails, braiding, weaving, dreadlock retouch, ear piercing, and makeup services. We are located at Kasarani Majimazuri Stage, Kiambu Kirigiti next to the stadium, and Thome Maroroi bypass. For more information, call us on 0715 646 358.
Are you looking for someone to cover your special occasion? Look no more. High Heights Productions, we offer live streaming services, wedding coverage, burial coverage, music and video production, documentary shoots, photo shoots, event organization, and graphic designs. High Heights Production, we serve you the best.
Hi viewers, this is Susan Muita with True Living Show, which airs via Sky Cable TV. Welcome back, welcome. Today the show we are talking about is about rest. But previously we were talking about sleep, and today we will talk about rest. But the reason why, I brought these two shows close to each other, it's because when we need sleep, we also need rest, and vice versa. And let's say, okay, you did not get enough sleep, then try to have a rest if you cannot have time to create sleep. But nothing should be escaped. Every day we are supposed to have sleep on a 24 hours. Last time we had different hours for each age group on how many hours to sleep. For myself, I'm entitled to sleep 7 to 8 hours or 7 to 9 hours, and that will be enough sleep. But now today I want us to just forget about the sleep, and so that we can look about rest. So there are so many ways of getting rest, but we'll just comment or talk about 7 types of rest. When we talk with people might say rest is rest, but there are so many different types of rest, and we'll tackle one by one so that you can understand what kind of rest you should be taking, depending on the time of the day, depending on what you have been doing, depending on how tired you are, depending whether you are taking a break, depending on your career or the job you are doing, depending on where you are, depending on the environment. There are so many dependents on the type of rest that you should be taking. And rest is good, as I'm repeating again, rest is good as sleep is also good. So if you are working or you're active, you should always have a rest. Rest is always good for your body. So we'll start with the first type of rest. And before we continue on that, just go down there, look for that ravish button. It's red in color, and subscribe and comment and like, so that we can be bringing you more of these topics on these shows. So the first kind of rest we should talk about is creative rest. So as it is saying, creative rest. So it's a matter of you to create that rest and then enjoy it and have it. So some of the creative rest that I should be talking about, like if I want to create any rest for myself, what I would do first is maybe walk outside and go for a walk. and get myself out of what I'm doing and or whatever I'm doing. Just change what you are doing. Create your own ways, walk around the park, go to the beach, have a hike or have a ride. Other types of rest is the mental rest. So what do I mean by mental rest? Mental rest is when you make your brain rest, when you take care of yourself by resting. So some of these mental rest, what I would say is, you don't want to be distracted. You do something which you won't be distracted, which you take away your mind or your brain away from where there is so much demand on it, cognitive demands. You take a break from that. So one of the things maybe you can do to get away from that is, like, if let's say you are working and you're using a computer, shut that computer off and get over it, and get some rest on your mind. Don't do an activity which will drain your mind so much. So take a break, just do something which it won't need a lot of your brains, or it won't need a lot of thinking, or you won't be expected to do a lot of things. I don't know if I'm passing the message, but what I mean is, we know even when we are doing activities or when we are talking with people, there are sometimes you feel like you're using too much of your brain, a lot of energy to think, to get on to task. So that's what I'm saying. You just get yourself out of it, and that way you'll have a mental rest. So you can even put a timer somewhere and then come back to an activity which you are doing. Another type of actually, before we even move on, before I move on, the mental rest, you can be creative. Instead of using your brain so much, you can take a pen and a pad, like a book, and write like a journal, something freely, and that way you won't be exhausted in your mind. Or you can also decompress your mind, so that you can have a mental, rest. Another one is the physical rest. We have so many examples of physical rest. So if you want to have a rest, physically, it means you just sit down or lie down in your bed, without sleeping. We are talking about rest, or lie on a couch or relax somewhere. So where you won't have movement, you won't be physically be drained. That's what we call, physical rest. You can schedule quality time. You can also do some exercises, so that, at the end you'll be able to rest well. That's how you get to a physical rest. Another kind of rest is social rest. What I mean by that is, some people are social, they are very social, and they can be socially be drained. So sometimes you need to pull yourself back, even from a crowd or from your friends or wherever you are having you are socially. So you can go take a rest, and then that's what is called a social rest. Because sometimes we say, okay, so and so is my friend, she's depleting me, she's talking like this, like that, maybe when you are drained. So you need to take a break, you need to move yourself from the social circles and have a break at a certain time, so that you can have enough to give, because we always say you cannot be socially active there so much while you don't have enough or you have not taken a rest. So it's always good to have social rest, which is healthy. You can also change like where you go to hang out. You can go to a different place where you won't socially meet with the people you are always with. That's another way. Or because I know when you are with your friends, sometimes you multitask. You have so much to tell them, you have so much, and sometimes you might feel drained, but because you want to fit in, you end up being not having enough rest. So it's always good to have a break. You can even use like a device, but you can limit of how long are you having it, especially nowadays with social media and all that. Sometimes you can even shut them down and stay without using them, and be with yourself so that you can have enough rest. Another type of rest that nowadays we rarely get onto it's the emotional rest. Sometimes we are emotionally drained and we keep on getting emotional. What you can do to have emotional rest is like you give yourself a break. Give yourself space, consider what you can handle, what you cannot handle, and even if there are people who are requesting you to do things and you feel like you are not emotionally ready, you can be able to say no, so that you can have enough emotional rest. Another thing is, you need your space. You can also share with other people how you're feeling. If emotionally you feel like you're drained, you can tell people. If that's not enough, you can take pen and paper. You can journal. You can journal down what you don't like or how you feel emotionally. And then you can develop a practicing way of your mind, like even how to drain yourself out of the emotional, draining. And that's another type of emotional rest. We also have sensory rest, like sometimes you might feel, oh, I feel like I'm very anxious. You feel like you are engaged in a place, or a place where it's so noisy. There are machines, making a lot of noise. You can hear them vibrate on yourself, or let's say too much loud noise, you can't even take it. So you can get yourself out of an area where maybe it's too noisy or too, what I mean by sensory, the sixth sensory we are talking about. Let's say even like the smell or the hearing, or those kind of things. Then you are supposed to take yourself out of those areas. Try to be a place where your sensory organs, they are not drained. Even like bright lights, let's say you can even get to a house where it's so bright and then you feel it is like too much for your eyes. You can dim them or shut them off, so that that's another kind of a break or a rest. You rest from too much noise, you rest from too much light, you rest from a place where there is a lot of traffic, or those kind of things. And then you can even turn off your computer off. You can turn your telephone, because most people are on their telephone like almost like 12 hours a day or 24 hours. So those are, you can say, okay, at certain time I'll be shutting my my phone off and I will not be listening to it. I will not be picking on it. Because sensory wise it's draining me, or it's too much sensory, like a whole day. Let's say you work in a place where in a whole day you are dealing with too much noise, or you are dealing with the computers, with the phone. So at a certain time you are just supposed to shut everything down and relax somewhere, and that is sensory rest. Another kind of rest which I should be talking about, and before we even finish about the sensory, because your external stimuli or internal whatever is supposed to be shut off by the time you are resting, so that you can have enough rest. Spiritual rest, we are supposed to have spiritual rest, like where you would go yourself spiritually, you are on your own, or you're reading, let's say, a Bible, or you are taking a break where spiritually you be on your own. That's another kind of a rest. You can join you can have a prayer line, you can have people you are praying together with, where you can align your interest. So that's another one. Or volunteer or help other people, all those. So there are different kind of rest, as I've just said. So rest is very important, as the same as as sleep. So make sure you give yourself enough rest a lot. You don't have to rest throughout the day. You can have small rest here and there, and that will be helping you to be a better person, to better your health, to better you mentally, and also to be able to be giving others, because you have to have rested or have slept so that you can give others, because you cannot give what you don't have. And for now, this is Susan Muita with True Living Show, which airs every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern African Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe and press the red ravish button, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.